I'm a midwife, and as a midwife of over 13 years experience, I thought when I had my own baby that I had it all figured out. Spoiler alert, I was wrong. Here's 10 things that I learned as a new parent that surprised me. Number 1, cloth diapering would actually be a joy. When I think back to having my baby, cloth diapering is one of the things that I look back on with the most fondness. Sure, there was laundry. Sure, there was mess. But ultimately, it was a time of connection, of caring for my baby, and represents a really small chapter in her entire childhood. Tip number 2, the 4-month mark hit me like a brick. And I'm not kidding when I say I was not expecting this one. I thought at 3 months I had it figured out and that I was in control of what was happening and my baby and I were in sync. However, at the 4-month mark, I can see now that I was actually really struggling with postpartum anxiety. And along with that came intrusive thoughts and rage. And that was completely startling to me as a person who is not a rage-filled person and who generally doesn't identify with being overly anxious. So please take this as a reminder that postpartum support doesn't end at 6 weeks. Plan ahead for your support structures and recognize that it's okay to seek help well into that first postpartum year. Tip number 3, baby wearing equaled freedom. And I had planned to baby wear. It was something that had always been a part of how I envisioned doing motherhood, but I couldn't appreciate until I had my own baby that actually having her on me all the time meant that I could still engage with things that made me feel like me. And having her with me also made me feel that I was being an attentive parent. And there are so many fun ways to baby wear, whether or not it's a structured carrier or a stretchy wrap or a ring sling, which ultimately became one of our favorites. Baby wearing meant I could almost do anything with her. And I have so many fond memories of having her in the carrier and doing things together. Tip number 4, I needed more postpartum support than I anticipated. I know I preach postpartum support all the time, but I thought I could do it on my own. I severely underestimated that it's a lot to run a house and it's a lot to care for an infant and it's a lot to recover from a birth. And I still so clearly remember 6.5 years later, my fellow midwife and friend came to my house. She baked muffins and she did my dishes. And it felt like the truest act of love that you could give a person. And I get emotional thinking about it because I didn't know I needed that love in that moment. So I encourage you, be open to those friends who are knocking on your door, who are coming with a kind heart and want to do more than just snuggle your baby. Please, please, please say yes. Tip number 5, breastfeeding was harder in the beginning than I thought it was going to be. I obviously, as an international board certified lactation consultant, knew all the things, but the amount of work that I needed to do in a really complex breastfeeding scenario was more than I could have imagined. The 24/7 nature of setting alarms and waking up with your baby, and a lot of it had to do with that I wasn't seeking out help when I needed it, and I thought I could just power through. So know that if in your mind you feel like this is harder than it should be, it might be a hard path, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't seek help to see if the path could be easier. And that's what I did wrong. Tip number 6. One of the things that surprised me the most, because I had a lot of preconceived ideas about how this would go, was that it was surprisingly easy to make friends who were in the same phase of life. I often say to my patients, and I would go back and say this to myself, that having a baby in the same age in that chapter of life is enough to make a friendship. Go to the baby groups. Don't worry about connecting with your current friends when you're feeling like you need someone who just understands whatever micro stage you're going through. Having a buddy who is experiencing the same things and to sound them off, it's your whole world in that time. And that is enough to form a friendship. So seek out mamas with similar aged babies and you will have some really fun memories together. Tip number 7, babies don't follow a textbook. And the easiest way to say this is that not everybody follows the same growth curve. So make sure that when you're comparing yourself to a standard, ask yourself, am I in the same phase as that person? Is my baby appropriate on the spectrum for my baby's age? And is my recovery in the right frame for my spot in my own postpartum recovery? So whether or not it's baby milestones like smiling, cooing, walking, sitting, crawling, you name it, am I within the window? And don't compare to the person who's the first to do it. There's a great episode on Bluey called The Baby Race. And if you don't know Bluey yet, you will soon enough. But it's a good reminder for parents that it's not about to be the first. It's about supporting your baby to keep going on their own pathway. Tip number 8, it's okay to mourn your old life. A lot changes, and for most parents, it's more than they imagine. And this even evolves over the first year of life. In the beginning, babies are very portable. They'll nap anywhere, they'll sleep anywhere, they'll snuggle anywhere, they'll eat anywhere. But of course, as they become their own individual person over that first year, a lot changes. And along with that, you give up some things, and it's okay to mourn that old life. So go watch my other video about postpartum habits, because that can help you find ways to integrate your old life into your new life as a parent. Tip number 9, say yes to easy. Say yes to the shortcut. There's a lot of ideas about what it means to be a mother and how to make motherhood look perfect. But the truth is, this is your motherhood experience, not anyone else's. And if you forget along the way that not only is your baby having an experience, that you also are a mother having an experience, you can let all these ideals completely throw off all the joy that you could be having. Let go of the tidy house. Let go of the home cooking. Let go of the ideal that you will have decor and photo shoots and perfectly coordinated outfits, because all the focus that's going into that could be going into making you feel better. If that fills your cup, go ahead, amazing, and share it with the world because it's beautiful to see. But if that's not you, let it go. That doesn't have to be your motherhood narrative. And that's a hard thing that I learned. And when I let that go, I started to have a lot more fun. Tip number 10, you will grow as much as your baby will grow. Parenting challenges you in ways that you can't even conceive of before you're a parent. And some of those are really good nitty-gritty challenges, and other times those challenges are just completely overwhelming. But as you move through them, you will grow as a person. Even within the first year of your child's life, you can look back to who you were when the day you met your baby and see changes. For me, looking back, I realized how much I could let go of, how much I didn't have to control, and how process was so much more important than outcome. So I challenge you, if you are a new parent, this is your challenge of this video. You'll see I often do this. I challenge you. I want you to do a bit of journaling, write a few things down, or make a video in those early days of your baby's life, talking about who you are, how you're feeling, and where you think you'll be in a year. And then on your baby's first birthday, make another video and just see how much you've grown. If you're finding this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me to grow my channel and reach more moms just like you. I'll see you in the next one.